was Roasted the Channel. They're getting good, huh? I like those. These are such a good entrance. You know, everybody has something, and we now have that, which is the greatest thing.
Who's we?
You and me? The audience?
I don't do it.
People who I know because you're scared. We're gonna make him do one. Like he's gonna, and I bet you money this is exactly how it'd be. Like, hey, everybody, this is Roasted the Channel. That's exactly how it'd be. Bro. So, if you don't know what time it is, it's that time where we get to sit down in these chairs in front of this green screen and bring you some wrestling talk.
Nice.
Roasted's wrestling talk.
Well, that is what the channel's called.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's just called Roasted the Channel, but yeah, it's many subcategories.
Gotcha.
Because that's what we do here.
It is.
Anyway, if you don't know what a wrestling talk is, where have you been? Have you been living under a boulder inside of a house that goes down into a cellar to where you cannot see the light of day? Because this right here is the most poppin' YouTube channel, the most poppin' wrestling talk, the most poppin', exciting, extravagant thing that you get in your week.
There's so much energy.
I really hope it's not the most extravagant thing in people's week. Yeah, I know where I get all this energy from. I just love doing videos.
I can tell.
Anyway, we're going to bring you some news articles that we picked personally that we thought were the most impactful, and then we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to end this video because that's what we do, baby boo. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
First subject. Matt Hardy was seen with those young bucks in a podcast. Matt Hardy's contract is expiring from the WWE. We've already heard him voice his unhappiness with the WWE. Is this a sign that Matt Hardy, possible version 1, going to AEW?
I think so. I think, I mean, I'm not a Matt Hardy fan. Like,
you said that really quiet. Like
and I don't blame him for wanting to leave because I think that he thought, okay, I'm leaving TNA. He had a lot of momentum with that. A lot of momentum. That really, I'm sorry, wrestling fans. I know a lot of wrestling fans liked it. That was cool. That character was stupid.
The broken Matt Hardy. He's talking about broken Matt Hardy.
That character was dumb.
It's great.
It made no sense to me.
Comedy gold.
I didn't understand why people liked it, but he got a lot of attention for it.
I liked it.
I think he thought he was going to be able to bring that from TNA WWE, then he went through that whole dispute with them, right?
Yep. He couldn't get the broken name.
Yeah, and then once he finally was like able to, they didn't do nothing with it.
Well, they became the woken Matt Hardy.
Right. And it was weird because when they came back at WrestleMania, they were literally just, I think WWE wanted them just to be the Hardy Boys again.
Yeah.
They didn't want him to do the broken Matt Hardy thing.
No. Well, the first, if you remember, the first night they came back was at WrestleMania. That was hosted by the New Day because the New Day was supposed to be in the tag team.
We all thought they were going to be in the ladder match, yeah.
And it wasn't the New Day. They put the Hardys in it. The Hardys won the title. Got the straps that night. But yeah, they came back as the Hardys, which I think right there, anything you had with Matt Hardy, even though he's doing the delete and everybody's doing it with him, and he's calling Jeff Hardy Brother Nero, but you still have him coming out as the Hardys.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I think that just halted all the momentum he had and kind of just destroyed.
I mean, between that and between his dispute with TNA. Like, it just wasn't... WWE should have not have let him do anything like it until they figured that out. Yeah. Once they figured that out, then find your way back.
Yeah.
But they did it, so just like this really weird thing. Like you said, he would come out, they're supposed to be the Hardys, but he would still do this.
Yeah, did the delete.
And the crowd knew what it was. Yeah. They were chanting it like really hardcore, but he couldn't do his stupid accent that makes no one, like, it sounds like one accent, then it sounds like another language, like, makes no sense. Anyway,
such a hater.
So I guess the biggest rumor has been the Dark Order, that he's the, what did they call it? The
Exalted One?
Exalted One, which everyone's saying it's him. We think it might be Raven.
I still
between those two. If it is, I think Matt Hardy's character fits better.
Yeah, the broken Matt Hardy.
So if they could get him in there, I'm pretty sure he'll sign them because I think the most important thing from what I read is that he didn't have any creative control in WWE.
Not a single thing.
I don't know why you thought you were going to because they don't let people do that there. But in AEW, the creative control are wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's not storytellers. It's not writers. So it'll be easier for him
to get
do what he wants to do, right? So it would make sense. I think it's weird that he's going to go to probably. I think he's gone.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gone too.
He's gone.
Jeff just signed a new contract.
Yeah, which I was a little surprised by that, but I mean, I don't blame Matt for just being like, well, I mean, they've always liked Jeff more than him anyway.
They always was Jeff to the moon.
So I'm pretty sure he's just like, yeah, I'm out.
So, I 100% agree with you. But Matt Hardy he's smart. That's one thing he is. He's
smart.
He's a smart creator. Because right now he's been having, he has the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel that he has is going through a bunch of like changes, and he can't find himself. He don't know if he wants to be broken or woken or the rich Matt Hardy or version 1 or the Hardy Boys.
Like, characters.
And he's going through a bunch of that, trying to figure out the new character. And I think that's what's hinting at him being the Exalted One, is because that's going to push to a new character with AEW. I think that's why he finally was able to drop this podcast with the Young Bucks on it, because, I mean, if you're still signed with WWE, I'm assuming they're telling you you can have nothing to do with AEW unless it's maybe an Instagram picture or something like that. But other than that, I don't know how that's working right now. So I severely doubt Vince is even happy with that at the moment, that he had the Young Bucks on there, that there's a hint that he's going to AEW, or Vince just doesn't care anymore about Matt Hardy and he's ready to just split ties anyway. But whatever it is, yeah, I think he's definitely going to AEW. I think it's going to be good stuff. I think he's going to be in a good role.
That is a good role.
Yeah.
I would rather see him in like the leader, not the main wrestler of the group, but like the leader of a group like that makes sense for him. I don't want to see him being the lead of a group and doing a lot of wrestling. He's old.
Yeah, I mean, he still can put on decent matches, but he's not putting on no 5-star matches. So I mean,
but that role is perfect.
Yeah, that role would be great for him to do too. I think that's where he's going. I don't know if they're gonna give him a butt ton of money or whatever, but I bet I'll guarantee anything after that podcast. That talk was all about contract, and I'm pretty sure he's signing a contract.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, moving on from Matt Hardy to the biggest liar of the year. I think we're gonna go with the guy who is just gonna look you in the face and go, Adrian, I don't want to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Right.
Oh, hey, The Fiend. You're going to point at the air? I'm going to wrestle at WrestleMania. If you don't know what we're talking about John Lioness Cena.
Wow.
And I love John Cena.
He does.
Don't get me wrong, but this was stupid.
It didn't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb as a box of rocks. So if you haven't seen the segment, go ahead and look it up. John Cena goes out into the ring. He gives this beautiful, heartbreaking speech. He's almost in tears. Yeah. Really good acting. He must be going to acting classes or whatever. But he's always a good promo.
Yes, he is.
Goes in there. It almost seemed like he was retiring. He's like, I'm done with the ring. I'm not going to take a spot from a young guy. I'm not going to be at WrestleMania.
He said, I didn't earn it. I haven't been here all year. I didn't earn my spot. Someone who's been here all year should get that spot over me because they busted their butt. And I'm looking towards the future, not the past. That's what he said.
Which that makes sense for him to do because that's how he was when he was wrestling. He was like, hey, I got to earn this. I have to do this. Hustle, loyalty, respect. And he was wrestling champion. Everything he did to build his career made sense. But this does not make sense. You literally just lied about your whole career, basically. Because you're a hustle, you're loyalty and respect. You just broke the loyalty of everybody. You're respecting none of the young guys. And you haven't hustled all year, so... But you still get a WrestleMania shot. So, he finishes his story. He walks out. The lights go out. And there's the Fiend. Now, here's two other stupid things. First off, every time the lights go out and lights come back up, the Fiend demolishes somebody.
Yeah.
Not this time.
No.
He awkwardly stands there and then awkwardly points half fingers or something. It looks literally like this. He's like...
Points at the WrestleMania sign. It was so... He was cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, he was just chilling.
It was so weird.
And then John Cena just tipped
his hat yep, it's game time. And I was like, wait, what? You just said that you weren't going to take a spot. And man, we had this talk, was it last wrestling talk? About, we heard maybe it's against the Fiend. They could go all these different ways. But it's probably going to be the Fiend. Yeah. Since they took the title off him, it's going to be Rowan versus Goldberg. Yeah, man, I just... So aside from that...
Stupid.
We all thought it just did... If you knew... Obviously you knew you were going to have this match at WrestleMania with The Fiend, right? Why would you cut that promo? Why would you say, I'm not going to take a spot, I didn't earn it, and then take the match not even 5 minutes later?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if Cena beats him...
He's probably going to.
I'm going to laugh so hard.
I don't think Cena's going to beat him because he still only has one loss to Goldberg. So hopefully Cena does not win. There's no point in Cena winning. The only thing that bothers me is you literally took this piece of paper. You said, look here, Bray Wyatt. We're going to give you the rights to do this Fiend character. We're going to build him up to be indestructible. You're going to get super over with the fans. It's going to be a great thing. People are going to cheer when you come out, even though you're supposed to be a heel. But somehow we're still not going to trust you at WrestleMania. So give us back our title and go be in a feud with John Cena. Because it's safe. What?
Yeah, I don't remember. I told you I didn't ever think they were going to have him main event.
So no rematch for the title.
Nope.
That's just gone.
Yep.
Just like Kofi when he lost. He's done. You're done and over with.
Yep, no rematch.
And now you're not even next to the main event in WrestleMania. And then the Elimination Chamber match is changing. So I'm telling you, somebody sat down. I'm assuming Vince sat down and was like, this isn't safe. This isn't what we do. Change the whole damn card. What else happened?
Hey, man. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know.
It's annoying.
Like I said, it's going to be even more funny when John Cena wins. Like,
don't say that.
If he wins, it's just like, bro, you just... I mean, I already felt like they already killed it with Goldberg.
Yeah, that did.
But to have, of all the people, to have John Cena cut that promo, then take the match, then beat him at WrestleMania, that's just the all-time.
Then you're just definitely taking that golden shovel and throwing some damn dirt on the Fiend, and you killed Bray Wyatt. Not once, but twice you're going to kill Bray Wyatt.
Not just throwing dirt on the Fiend, taking a big poo-poo.
Either that, or since the Fiend has he's had this ability to people who are losing to him to change them back to the old them. Maybe he beats Cena. Cena wrestles for a whole year, comes back as a wrestling Cena.
I don't think he's part-time wrestling now.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? I don't like this whole segment. I don't like the build up for it. Nothing is good about it. And just because of that, we're gonna move on.
Yeah,
moving on. All right, so as you've seen, the Hall of Fame list has been dropping, and it is getting a lot of heat, a lot of flack. This year, also in the Hall of Fame, the New World Order. That was horrible. The NWO. Getting it. If you don't stop yawning, I'm going to punch you
I always
in
do
your
it during
testiculars.
always during the video. I was perfectly fine earlier.
It's because you're cozy and it's warm over here.
Probably what it is.
But, so anyway, the NWO going into the Hall of Fame. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan. And has had a lot of flack behind it for the simple fact that the one man who created the NWO, the one man who got these three people together, the one man who made it what it was, Eric Bischoff, is not going into the NWO.
Was it Eric, though? It wasn't Kevin and Scott?
Nope. It was 100% Eric Bischoff. He came up with the idea. It was on Talk is Jericho, the podcast he had on the cruise. Okay. And they were talking about how he created the idea. He approached Nash and Hall. And
technically he didn't. He created the idea for WCW because he took the idea from New Japan?
Yeah, from New Japan. Okay. So the idea was originally from New Japan. He took it, brought it to WCW. Right. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were coming over, so he put them in there first. And then there was supposed to be a third person.
It was supposed to be Sting first.
And they didn't know who they were going to put as a third person, so it was going to be either Sting,
and he turned it
Booker T, or Diamond Dallas Page. They were trying to find somebody. And apparently Eric Bischoff talked to Hulk Hogan a couple months before, and Hulk Hogan was like, no, I can't turn heel, whatever. So Eric Bischoff left, and he's scrambling to figure out what to do. And it was like maybe a couple weeks before they were ready to release it. And Hogan called him up and was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm in. So that's when he brought Hogan in. So if none of that happens, there is no NWO. There's nothing that happens if Eric Bischoff doesn't do that. Or if you put somebody else that's not Hogan, it probably doesn't and take off like that. Because as soon as Hogan got in there, and you saw Hogan's heel turn, holy crap, man. That's what was building the ratings. That's what was beating Raw, was because of that right there. Watching a Hogan heel turn, which was something everybody always wanted. Never in our lives did we think we were going to get. And there it is in your face. And that was Eric Bischoff's idea. So the fact that they're not letting him in the Hall of Fame with the NWO, to me, that just seems like there is still a crap ton of salt towards Eric Bischoff.
Okay, so this is my take on it. I feel like Eric Bischoff should be in the Hall of Fame, but he should go in by himself. I think as a creator, I don't think you should be able to... So that's like saying if someone, like a writer or Vince McMahon came with an idea and the idea worked, when they go in the Hall of Fame, Vince McMahon should go in the Hall of Fame with them. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I see your point, but not something as big as this as a group.
And I get that too. But it's like DX, probably right next to NW is one of the biggest factions of all times. Mm-hmm. since Vince McMahon helped, or I don't know how that dynamic worked, but if he did, should he have gone in the Hall of Fame with D-Generation X? So I look at Eric Bischoff as someone who, the NWO angle he created, but that's not the only thing he did. So that's why I think he should go in by himself.
Yeah, I get that part, but the NWO thing was, again, it was his baby, but he also worked with them to create the heat. The spots where he has, Kevin Nash throwing him off a stage, and the fights with Hogan and stuff like that. So I mean, he helped build NWO to what it was. Vince did it for DX too. So I mean,
plus
I get your point, but at the same time, it just, I don't know, it feels different to me because Vince creates everything.
Well, in WCW, I mean, Eric Bischoff was the man. But my thing is, like, the NWO is such a weird group to put in because they're only going to put in the 3. But, bro, everybody and their mom was a part of the NWO.
Yeah, they talk about that, too, because that's when it started they were like, that's when it started going downhill, when we had everybody.
Everybody and their mom was
the Wolfpack and the LWO, and it was like 50 different factions of it.
Yeah, it was just bananas. But, like, so I'm okay with Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Yeah. But Eric Bischoff should get in. No, he should. I think he should get his spot by himself.
I don't think he will because of what happened with SmackDown, where he was supposed to have creative control. They threw him to the wolves. He got eaten and got fired within 2 weeks. Yeah, so something is going on with Vince and Eric Bischoff, man, that they are just not.
But he keeps rehiring him.
I think he just keeps bringing him on to be like, ha, got you. Now you can leave again. Like, I think it's just to embarrass him at this point. What else are you doing it for, man?
Yeah, good Lord. I thought that was a weird signing anyway, but again, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. He should eventually be in the Hall of Fame.
But I'm okay with it. It's just the 3. You can't, bro. Miss Elizabeth was a part of the NWO.
Yeah, Macho Man, Miss
Macho
Elizabeth,
Man,
Mr.
Lex
Perfect,
Luger,
Bruce the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, he wasn't Bruce the Barber.
Do you know who never was in it? Booker T.
He was in it when they went to WWE.
That don't count.
That doesn't count. Shawn Michaels was in it. I mean, bro, the Great Muta was in it.
Yeah, technically, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are in it because they do that.
Yeah, bro.
Technically, they're in the NWO.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, it's an interesting conversation. This whole Hall of Fame this year has just gotten roasted, toasted, and burnt to a
crisp. There's not. Well, who's the big one?
The NWO Batista.
It's Batista.
Batista, the NWO, JBL, the Bella Twins. I think the only ones announced. I think there's another one I can't think of.
But yeah, Batista's a big one.
Yeah. But other than that,
it's crazy that he's getting in already.
That's because he's done. All right, moving on to the next segment here. Vince McMahon has apparently given up on another wrestler, and this wrestler is sitting at home collecting a paycheck, waiting to either get released, which never happens for some reason because they'd rather just pay him, or wait for his contract to expire. And apparently Vince has given up on Cedric Alexander.
What a great talent.
What a great talent. And for some reason, you cannot figure out what to do with him, and he's not on TV for about 4,526 years.
He's not even doing cruiserweight stuff.
And he's not even doing cruiserweight stuff. He was on Raw. He did that huge spot with, I can't remember. He was dressed as a janitor or something. And
he was doing matches with Roman for a little bit too, tag team matches when they were doing their feud with, I can't remember who it was, but yeah.
Yeah, and now he's just gone. So I mean, why? Why?
That's why? Bro. See, look, we had this discussion before. There's so many wrestlers on the roster.
There is.
I like Cedric Alexander a lot. He's amazing, athletic talent. I don't know if he's good on the mic. Maybe his character's kind of bland, but in the ring, he's great.
Yeah.
But he's another guy that might benefit to just going back to NXT and working matches with Lio Rush and Angel Garza's not there no more. But whoever's the cruiserweight champion, you can throw him in there, just at least put him back in that so he's doing something.
Yeah, big head, little bodies there, so he can fight big head, little body. But
that match would be amazing.
That match would be really good. And then we're talking about Jordan Devlin. If you haven't seen that man's head, check it out. But yeah, the fact that you're just willing to be like, oh, you're super talented, and there's so many other wrestling shows, you're just going to stay here and suffer. That needs to end, man. Let him go. Let him get out there and let them try.
There's a reason why they don't let him go.
Because they're going to be huge over there somewhere else and they're going to screw him over?
Dude, they want you to sit at... I'm not saying literally, but it does seem like we'd rather you sit at home, lose all your momentum, and then when we finally are like, okay, your contract's over there, you do whatever you want.
Rebuild the whole thing.
Then you got to kind of start all over again. But yeah, because they don't want you freaking like immediately. Oh, I want out of my contract. Oh, okay, bye, and then they sign somewhere else, and you're a huge star. WWE doesn't want to see that.
No, yeah, especially I get that point. Where especially if WWE did something to help build your momentum, I get that point. But you're literally, and I know you got it, but you're literally just throwing money at a guy to do nothing. He's not even promoting Be a Star, the bullying thing. He's not going on any tours. He doesn't even see a house show. And from what I've heard, comment if I'm wrong, he's had no backstage heat. There's been no backstage issues. He hasn't had any problems with the writers. I mean, no problems with Vince. So at what point do you, just the same thing with Murphy. Look how long it took him to finally get something. At what point do you see that you have this talent? Let's not forget that WWE is apparently the worst people at picking talent because they had the Young Bucks, they had Kenny Omega, they had AJ Styles, and never saw the potential in them and let them go. So at what point do you start sitting down with whatever stupid team you have and you're like, look, we need to start using some of this talent. We got to stop being so damn safe. Unfortunately, is it going to be to the point where Vince has to not be in control of WWE anymore, not to have anything to do with it, and somebody else take over, that they finally give the reins up and they let these younger stars main event at WrestleMania?
I mean, that makes sense too, but if I'm playing devil's advocate, maybe the WWE just doesn't see him as a huge star. Like, let's just take the wrestling part of Cedric Alexander's persona. What does he do good?
He hasn't had a chance to showcase.
You
can't tell if he's a good promo, and they write stuff for you. It's hard to read off the paper.
We can't because we don't see him. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I get it. Maybe
you get what I'm saying? Look, I'm just speculating. I'm just playing the other side because he did do some stuff. Remember when they did that weird thing with, was it Alicia Fox?
Oh,
where it was like that was a girlfriend. He was a girl. Remember, like they were dating.
Noam Dar.
And it was just, and I know that's Noam Dar.
Yeah, it was very cringy.
That was. He had some time on the mic. They were trying to do that. It was dumb.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but he didn't do anything to elevate it.
No.
Like personality-wise, character-wise, Mike. You know what I mean? So, like, again, he's great in the ring, but Cedric Alexander's character is like kind of...
You know, it is always said by almost every wrestler. If you're given something and they're like, here, go read this piece of trash... and you're not into it, no one's going to be into it. The writers, Vince, the fans, nobody. But if you get this piece of trash and you go out and you do your best with it and you try to get invested in it, it's going to probably get over. Point in case, one of the greatest examples of that, Cody Rhodes. Yeah. He got the stupidest gimmick after stupidest gimmick after stupidest gimmick, but he believed in it so much, he went out and made it his own. And they always got over. So if you end up doing that, like if they give Cedric Alexander, hey, you're going to go pick up trash after the show, but you're going to be on TV. Make it your own. Own it. Get it over yourself. Such as Rusev. Rusev's another one. Get it over your damn self and then make something of it. But yeah, you're right. He was given the reins and he kind of dropped it. But it wasn't a big reign.
Yeah, but see, and that's the other thing too. Even if you do take it and make it into gold, that doesn't necessarily mean
you're going to get used.
Because Rusev did it, and look at him.
But Rusev has a lot of problems with Vince and the writing team and stuff.
You
reach up and grab that brass ring.
Yeah, that creative control in WWE.
It's ruthless.
That a lot of guys are starting to come out now and be like, man, I'm just tired of this now. Seems like a lot of guys want to get out of contracts now. They're seeing what AEW is doing.
Even the indies do that stuff too. There's no writers in the indies.
Sometimes you just gotta let people be themselves, man.
Yeah,
that was why the Attitude Era was so good.
Yeah, because they were just being themselves. It was a bunch of ruthless aggression. That pain. That hurt. I think I fucking broke my neck.
That looked like it hurt.
Good Lord. All right, we got two more because I got a bonus question on this. Not even on here, but I thought of it talking about that last one. So we'll get into this first. Chuck Liddell, retired Hall of Famer. Probably one of the best MMA fighters in the history of history.
Probably the best superstars there.
Multiple-time heavyweight champion. Light heavyweight champion.
I think it was light heavyweight.
I mean, one of the biggest names that I know. I mean, I don't watch that much, but I mean, when somebody said Chuck Liddell, I know who you're talking about. What's to come to the WWE? Do we need another old-ass person come to the WWE and take up spots?
No, man. Look, no offense. I like Chuck Liddell. What an exciting fighter he was in his heyday, but bro, you see his last fight with Tito Ortiz?
That's horrible.
He could barely move. Yeah. And I'm supposed to believe that you can move and wrestle in the WWE ring?
Well, apparently what they try to say, and everybody says it, same with Brock. That's why Brock was wrestling while he was hurt. But wrestling and MMA are two different types of muscle groups you're using. So the fact that he's using the muscle groups that are hurting more in MMA, they might be different in.
No, I get it, but look at how he moves his body.
No, it looked horrible. It looks horrible.
He looked like he could barely circle like around the ring. Yes, he did. See, now look at Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez.
That boy can move. He could jump. He's quick. He could do lucha libre moves. Well, we didn't see it because they decided to do something stupid with him when they fought Brock. Yeah. But he can wrestle. I can't see Chuck Liddell, not at this stage. Maybe when he was a little younger. But right now, after what I saw when he fought Liddell or Tito Ortiz, nah, plus, come on, man. I don't need another old dude taking his bed. And he needs to train. He don't know how to wrestle.
Yeah. Now, again, to play the devil's advocate, I mean, can you say you would hate it as much? Because when we get these UFC fighters, these MMA fighters, they're always really good.
They are good.
Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Matt Riddle, Ken Shamrock back in the day, Dan the Beast Everett, even when they started this out. I mean, you get these guys, and they get over, and they get big. So, I mean,
Liddell's old now.
Can so you don't think he can do it at all?
No, bro, not after what I saw.
Even against somebody safe like Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt.
No, because I don't remember when we saw Tyson Fury versus Braun. That was horrible. Horrible. That was not good. That's what I see Chuck Liddell. That's how I look at Chuck Liddell. Like that. He's not Cain Velasquez. He's not Matt Riddle.
God, I hope not.
He's not think about it. Chuck Liddell, when he was at his heyday, how old? Cain was just like starting to make his way up. Yeah. So let's fast forward all the way to now. Chuck Liddell's old, bro.
He's pushing, 50-something, 60-something?
Something like that, man. I don't know. I just don't see it.
And it just says he's interested in coming to WWE. It's not even saying he's signed contracts.
Plus, like you said, you're working different muscles, but, bro, you could do a fight in the UFC in the last 2 seconds. Can you do a wrestling match for 5 minutes?
5 to 8 minutes, yeah.
That's a long time.
8 minutes, yeah.
It doesn't seem like a long time, but it is a long time.
When you're in that ring, they say that's a long-ass 8 minutes. Yeah, I don't think we need it. So, bonus question. Not on here. Just want to show you if you can see it. But I came up... I'm bleeding. Paper cut. Worst thing in the world.
That was hilarious.
But I came up with it on the spot. Do you think that after Vince has given up the reins, or unfortunately passed on...
No, don't say that!
Do you think that once the reins are given up and handed to somebody else, do we see a AEW WWE crossover?
No.
You don't think we'd ever in a million years see AEW and WWE, like a New Japan or Ring of Honor, try to work together and do crossovers?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because, bro, how do you book it? Okay, so I'll give you an example.
That'd be a good time for 50-50 book.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Remember when WWE did it with ECW and they had their best top champion Taz?
They're getting destroyed.
And he got beat by Triple H, and you ruined it. No one wants to take that. No one is going to lose like that.
But it's also, I feel like a different generation to where we've grown so much with the WWE and we've grown with these other companies that when these guys lose, it's not that big of a deal anymore. It's just like a sporting team. You watch your Miami Dolphins, this guy here, suck all year, complete trash. Are you not a fan of them anymore?
No, but you don't want to...
But you're still a fan of them because you think they're going to get better. You want to see them get better. You want to get built up. So let's say right now, you can even take Kenny Omega. He was on a huge losing streak. But you said yourself, he doesn't lose any momentum. So if Kenny Omega goes over to the WWE, fights... Oh, I don't know. Adam Cole, a baby, one-on-one at a match on the biggest pay-per-view ever called Wrestle Kingdom's Revolution Dynamite Raw SmackDown NXT crossover. And Kenny Omega loses to Adam Cole. Does it really hurt him that much?
Yeah, because it's different because you're losing to competition. You're losing to the competition.
What if you have a 50-50 split? What if Adam Cole beats Kenny Omega? I don't want to see that. But the Young Bucks beat the Hardys, or the Young Bucks beat the New Day.
Yeah, but the Young Bucks beat the New Day and got nothing to do with Kenny Omega losing to Adam Cole or Seth Rollins or Daniel Bryan.
That's what I'm saying, though. But then you have Seth Rollins lose to Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara win to lose to, I don't know, somebody good, Keith Lee. Like, I'm telling you, if you did like a 50-50 split, you think it still affected that much?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Plus, dude, no matter what, you never want to help the competition. WWE doesn't want to help out AEW.
But AEW, and I understand it's competition, but AEW's even gone on record saying we don't view it as competition. We just view it as an alternative to have more wrestling and have more fans.
That's because they're smart. That's because they're smart. They saw what WCW did.
Yeah,
just like, look, we're the alternative, but we're not. We're gonna base our show and pretend like WWE's not even.
Yeah, because they don't ever bring anything up.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they should do. Plus, bro, a crossover would be so huge, but once it's over, then what do you? I don't know, man. I just don't. Even if Triple H takes over, who I would put my money on Triple H, maybe consider it over Vince McMahon. Vince, yeah. I mean, Triple H even with that, I'm not betting a lot of money.
But see, and here's the other thing that makes me think it might happen: the money. You got WWE wants so much money. They go to Saudi Arabia.
I mean, then you got to split it with a whole nother competition.
But God, the money it would bring in, I don't even know if that would matter. I don't even know if splitting it would matter because it'd bring in so much money. The build-up for it, the pay-per-views you'd sell, the merchandise you could sell, and a crossover everybody want to buy, the action figures. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to be done with it. But yeah, I agree. I see your point too. I mean, it's tough.
You never want to, bro. At the end of the day, whether they acknowledge each other or not, it's still competition.
Yeah.
You don't want to help that, ever. Remember, look what TNA. Remember, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna challenge WWE, and now we're gonna move our show to Monday night." And bro, nope.
That was the dumbest shit ever.
It was horrible.
AEW trying to stay so far away from WWE. They tried to do it on Wednesday when WWE had nothing, and their pay-per-views are on Saturday now, so it doesn't touch anything on Sunday, where it's usually WWE day. So that's how far AEW. Now the only thing is, Cody did taunt Randy Orton, which that was weird at Revolution. With the whole DDT and the doing the...
Oh, yeah,
that was awesome. Weird. But, I mean, yeah, at the same point,
I like cool stuff like that. Though.
But see, but wouldn't it be interesting if he does that and then Randy Orton came out of nowhere and RKO'd him because they're doing a split? I think it'd be gangster.
But, like, do you want to risk the fanfare switching over? Because, like, let's be honest. Let's say you got the hardcore AEW fan, you got the hardcore WWE fan.
I get that. That's a good point.
Some fans are freaking weird, and they take it real seriously. Like, no, our show's better than yours, and vice versa. Then you do a crossover, even if it is a 50-50 booking, which nobody wants to see that at the end of the day. Some people are just like, oh, man, you're right. These guys are here are better over, so I'm going to start watching. Whether they continue to watch AEW... I'm still going to watch this because these guys... Yeah,
you're still giving that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's so weird.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Because look at WCW. WCW is a perfect example.
Any final thoughts before...
Yeah, there's just one person I want to look at.
Nope! Jordan Grace this time. We're getting that Jordan Grace cutoff. And you're going to look at Jordan Grace.
Who is that?
Beautiful. I love
Which
Jordan
one's Jordan? Oh, is she the muscle one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's...
love her. You want to see Sensational Sherry? I'll put that.
Yeah, I like Sensational Sherry.
There you go. Rest in peace.
I know, man.
Not bad, Jordan Grace. Marry me, please.
Two great performers.
She would never marry me. Look at
she would.
Look at this.
You're ugly.
I'm too good looking.
Oh, okay.
And of course!
She's bigger than you.
That never works. She is bigger. She's way bigger. She's bench pressing. That never works, by the way. I gotta stop throwing that because it's kind of getting embarrassing.
You should crumble up and throw it at the camera.
And then knock over the camera. And
that would be funny.
This has been Roasted's Wrestling Talk, where you get all the interesting information drilled deep into your brain so next day you can walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, Billy, I watched Roasted's Wrestling Talk and now I know things. No. You didn't, so you don't know shit!" So make sure that you tune in. Always share, subscribe, ring that little bing bell. That's going to tell you when we drop videos. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Roasted9809 for Facebook, Roasted9809 for Instagram, and the Game 909 on Twitter. Hey, I finally got it right. Hot damn.
Look at you.
Also, we're trying the TikTok thing. We'll see how it works. Roasted9809. Weird, it's Roasted909, huh? Name never changes. Go follow that also. And of course, like always, peace, love, and please, I beg you, from the bottom of my heart, if you do nothing with your life, if you do nothing within your day, if you do nothing within your week, if you're feeling down and you don't know how to get back up, hug a tree.
It doesn't help anybody.
Ah! Peace!